What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo, and today we are back. Now, I know I've been on a hiatus. I've been moving. I came back from a vacation, and everything has just been out of whack. But now we're finally back. I'm in my new place. I'm feeling good. And today we're gonna talk about a lot of basketball. I may do 2 uploads today, and even maybe a short. Depends on how much time I got, but today, the first topic will be a very heated topic that I never understood why it was really even a debate, and that is the Kyrie versus Dame situation. Taylor Rooks was on an interview with Jason Tatum, and they were talking about whether or not Kyrie Irving is a superstar, which Taylor Rooks said yes, but she said no to, or she said maybe to a guy like Damian Lillard because he hasn't really accomplished much. And in my opinion, I just think that's very blasphemous, and I just want to get into it right now. So, first things first, when it comes to the Damian Lillard and Kyrie Irving stuff, Kyrie still has to beat the LeBron accusations, man. I don't know if it's just personally me or whatever, but I think that Kyrie's best years were when he was playing with LeBron James. And while I would say he had a statistical best season, I think on his second season with the Nets, I still think that he accomplished most of his accolades with LeBron James. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. But I think that makes it so he's kind of overrated in terms of. Also, if y'all hear that plane, I'm sorry. Or the helicopter, my fault. But Kyrie Irving, he did get the benefit of playing LeBron, which someone like Damian Lillard hasn't even had a chance to play with someone nearly as good as LeBron James. And if we just look at their careers, just by each other, Damian Lillard has more accolades on than Kyrie, more All NBA, more All Star. Uh, he was the Rookie of the Year, and while he wasn't more of an All Star, he was more of an All NBA. And there's just nothing really that I think that Kyrie does besides maybe ball handling that he does better than Damian Lillard. I think that. Oh well, actually, he does have a little bit more rim pressure, but I still think that Damian Lillard is still a really good shot creator, better offensive engine for a team like uh, the Portland Trailblazers or even any team in the NBA. I just don't get it. And I will say, I will entertain this a little bit if it wasn't for them just talking about this season. If it was just this season, yeah, then I could definitely see why people would think that Kyrie's Irving better or Kyrie Irving is better, excuse me. But when we look at their careers as a whole, Damian Lillard is a 30-point per game scorer, and it's not. Oh well, maybe if he had the ball in his hands more times. No, he's legitimately a 30 point per game scorer, especially in the playoffs. He has several series where he just explodes. And I know that people call Damian Lillard overrated in the playoffs, and I don't think he's like the best. But at the same time, you look at it, his last postseason run just proves that he's just a superstar. And his best, his last playoff series, he was better than anything that Kyrie Irving has ever put up. And I just kind of don't really understand it, especially when we look at Kyrie Irving's playoff record. It's really not that much different, if anything. I would say it's a little bit worse than Damian Lillard's, at least as a solo act. Because even in Brooklyn, he's only, averaged 21 points last season on honestly not that good efficiency, especially after the first game of the playoffs that they had, because he did go off for 37 points against the Boston Celtics, but after that, he essentially just dropped off again against Milwaukee and Boston of last year. Well, 2 seasons ago. He wasn't really that impressive, 22 points per game. And even in his 2 Cleveland seasons where he really took off, he only averaged around 25 points per game on really good efficiency. Don't get me wrong. Let me just check the advanced analytics. Yeah, his true shooting percentage of both of those playoffs were around the 57 range, which is really, really, really good. Especially for that time. It's a very efficient score. But when we look at Dame, it's honestly very similar well, it's not really similar. He did take a little drop, but for the past several years, he has been just electric from the field. When we consider Dame's last 5 seasons in Portland when he was 25 in 2016. 2016, by the way. He has been averaging 56 true shooting percentage. Kyrie Irving does not have that luxury, and let's just be real with ourselves. I don't think that Kyrie Irving is on the same level as Damian Lillard. And this is just talking about them as like scorers. Well, I would say that Kyrie does have a tendency of getting a little bit more open in space. I think that Damian Lillard just has a lot more tools to him. The three ball, I think that goes clearly towards Dame. I think that he's just a better just shot creator in general. When we look at just their careers in general, I don't think there's really a conversation of these guys being on the same level. And it's just very confusing as to why these two are always compared to each other. I don't get it. Damian Lillard is just a 30 point per game, 7 assist guy. Why are we comparing him to Kyrie Irving? And I know Kyrie Irving is a really good guy. Like, I don't want to sound corny or whatever, but he's a really good person. But like, bro, he's a really good basketball player. But bro, he's not Dame. Let's just be real here. He's just not Dame. Dame Dame has averaged 34 points per game, 10 assists per game. And what was his true shooting percentage? On 66 true shooting percentage in his last playoff game or last 6 playoff games. Kyrie's not coming close to that. I'm sorry. And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. I think I just been rambling on as to why I think that Damian Lillard is just a bit better. I think that Damian Lillard is just attracts more to the offensive end, attracts more defensive attention and all that. But not only that, there's one more thing about Damian Lillard that I didn't really even talk about, and that's just how good he is at just creating a lot of really tough shots. And I know Kyrie Irving is probably a little bit better at this, but Damian Lillard is also really good at creating his own shot, especially when he has really when his distance from the field is around 16 feet. He's not taking these really easy shots. He's taking a lot of tough shots, and a lot of people just don't understand how good that is, especially if he's playing with a guy like Giannis, who also attracts a lot of defensive attention. He could just be a spot up shooter and just take away from there. But yeah, that's it. I'm probably going to upload another video today. It is probably going to be about the Nets and how their situation is unfolding. I really don't have that much strong opinions on it, but I do want to talk about, how some teams wanted the Kevin Durant trade, but they didn't want to give up some stuff. So yeah, that's it for me. It's your boy Nehemiah, aka Neil, and I'll check y'all on the next one.